Oba staggered out of his hut. His body was still stretching, his bones cracking like dry wood. He could hardly stand straight, his head almost touching the top of the tall palm tree beside his house. The morning sun lit up his face, and the village saw him. At first, a child screamed, then another. Within seconds, the whole village was shouting. Women dropped their calabashes and ran, water spilling on the ground. Men grabbed their hoes and cutlasses, ready to defend themselves. Chickens flapped into the air, goats scattered in every direction. "Beast! Beast!" voices rang out. "It has come to eat us. Run for your lives." Oba froze. His heart pounded. He wanted to laugh, to tell them it was only him. But when he opened his mouth, the sound that came out was a roar. "I am not a beast," he shouted, but his voice was too heavy, too deep, like thunder rolling across the sky. The villagers screamed louder, some fell to the ground trying to escape. Oba raised his hands. "It is me, Oba," he cried. But to them, it was the howl of a monster. The young men of the village gathered quickly. They pointed their spears at him, their hands shaking. "Stay back," one of them shouted. Another yelled, "Do not let it come near." Oba took a step forward, but the ground shook beneath him. Dust rose around his giant's feet. The men panicked, dropping their weapons and running like the rest. Oba stood there, confused. All his life, they had mocked him for being too small. Now he was taller than everyone, stronger than anyone, yet they still laughed in their own way, this time with fear in their eyes. He bent down, trying to pick up a water pot that had fallen in the sand, but as soon as he touched it, the pot shattered into pieces in his huge hand. Oba stared at the broken clay, trembling. Children clung to their mothers, wailing. Old men shouted prayers, calling on the gods to protect the village. Not one person came near him. "It is me!" Oba cried again. He pointed at his small hut. "This is my house. I am Oba. I was born here. You know me." But the more he shouted, the more they ran. To them, there was no Oba. There was only a beast that had risen overnight. When the dust settled, the village was empty. Doors were shut, windows sealed. Only the frightened eyes of children peeked through cracks. Oba sighed. His throat was dry. He bent to pick up a pot of water someone had dropped, but the clay shattered in his huge hand, water spilling into the sand. He tried another, and it broke, too small for his strength. Hunger soon followed. He went to his barn and found yam. He roasted a whole tuber, but when he put it in his mouth, it was gone in one bite. He ate another, and another, until all his food was finished and still his stomach rumbled. The village could not feed a man his size. When night came, he tried to enter his hut, but the doorway was too small. His shoulders knocked the roof, breaking part of it. Oba lay down outside, on the bare ground. The stars looked close, almost within reach, but the cold beat into his bones. When the rain came, it soaked his body until he shivered like a child. He had wished for respect, for a little love. Instead, he had become the very thing they feared most. From the edge of the village, a figure stood watching. The woman from the bush. Her wrapper fluttered in the wind, and her eyes glowed like fire. Oba saw her and felt his stomach twist. She did not speak, but her smile told him everything. Was this a gift or the beginning of something worse?
This story. I'm waiting for you to tell me what you understand on the comment.